Good evening, Dominique. Thank you for coming on Sports Talk with C.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So first, tell us who you are and where you're from.
All right. My name is Dominique Williams. I am from Houston, Texas, born and raised in the H.
So what is the basketball culture in Houston, Texas?
The basketball culture. I mean, it's everything. I guess, we have the Rockets, so of course, everybody wants to pretty much stay how they're up and coming, new coach, new atmosphere. They're doing their thing. I'm actually surprised when we went to the game tonight. So it's kind of cool that we're having this conversation right now, playing the Golden State
Mhm.
Warriors. So we're gonna see what it's like in the atmosphere with the new squad.
I mean, I like the coach. I mean, don't like what he did, but I do love his coaching.
Ah,
I
we
do love his coaching
yes,
skills. So I can't
yes,
take what he does on the basketball court. The other's personal
exactly.
business don't got nothing to do with me.
Don't have anything to do with any of us. We they invited us into that world, but it definitely didn't have anything to do with us. It doesn't take away his ability to coach the game. So that's the focus.
Absolutely. So where does your love for basketball come from?
So I've been playing since I was a child. My sister played, my cousin played. So I had an opportunity to watch them grow up and play. And then I was that kid in the neighborhood that said, I want to get a boys around for that money. So I became that girl. I'm be outside, playing with the guys, in the park and just on the streets, just really getting it in. So it's something definitely special about the game, the what it feels like, what it sounds like. It's a different sound, different passion that brings out of you. Just everything about the game definitely is what I love. But for sure, I've been doing this for a long time.
So when you hear the word basketball, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Um, Security, stability.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a safe zone. It's the one place that you can go in and it gets the best of you. When I walk inside the gym, nothing else matters. I don't even know what I did at work that day or whatever I was stressed about or whatever. It didn't even matter the moment I enter a gym with my girls, my guys, whichever. It's a sense of definitely just comfort. It's that security blanket for sure. That's what the
Okay.
game is for me.
Absolutely. Basketball is life for sure.
Yeah,
Definitely
no, definitely.
it's the happy place.
Yeah.
So when you said you've been playing as a kid, it's your security. As a kid, what did you want to do with basketball?
Um, I wanted to be the next of something. I wanted to be the next, of course, growing up it was MJ or anything, but I was gonna be that woman that was gonna be in the NBA because I wanted to be a boys to business. But I definitely wanted to be that neighborhood kid. That kid that
Mm,
people said, yo, do you know who Dominique is? She's that girl from the hood. She's that girl that, made it out of the hood or came back and, made something positive happen later in life for sure. But that's what I wanted to be known for when it came to the game.
And when you started to play against the guys growing up as a kid, did that give you more fuel to keep going? Because playing against them, they always, they compare us all the time. We ain't good as them. We don't have as much athleticism as
Mm-hmm.
them.
Mm-hmm.
So did
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
fuel you more to keep going when you
Absolutely.
played against
Abs-
them and beat them?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It made me the one thing guys will always have over us is that, every girl ain't Duncan, right? Or every girl little body and this, that, and the other. But as far as we shoot better, our stamina is better. The
Hmm.
way we play defense is better. We don't back down like most dudes. It's not a really an ego thing for us. It's a confident thing, but not necessarily ego. Like, boys get upset when some dude is taking over the court or this, that, and other. And we step up. We like, no, nah, do that on us. So it's a
Right.
definitely it's a different feel, it's a different ego, but I always stepped up to the dudes. And it definitely made me harder now and I can teach the game, the passion a little bit better this
Okay.
go round than I can when I'm this go round. The passion is just different when you play against the guys in the hood or the neighborhood rather.
Not absolutely. It was too much contact for me, so I never actually played, but talking about it is absolutely amazing. But where did the gear shift from playing to coaching?
It's really I had a nephew. My
Okay.
nephew began to love the game because he was around it with me and my sister. And so I knew I wanted to teach him the right way. I wanted to give
Mm,
him the tools to make sure that he grew up and loved it, utilized it in whichever way he needed to. So I started learning and studying it more from a intellectual part versus a skillful part. Started
Mm.
teaching him just the X's and O's of it, and so that's where the coaching culture of everything came about when he was younger.
Okay, the fundamentals, because that's
Yes,
a lot of is
it
lacking.
is. It is. It is.
Do you feel as though that a lot of fundamentals are lacking when it comes to players learning the game of basketball because there's so much spotlight and social media and money and powerhouse five schools and NIL? Do you feel like, yes, it has helped, but also do you feel like it has took away from learning the fundamentals of the game?
Absolutely. So it's a motivation to obtain these things, right?
Mhm.
But we still want to be taught and learn basketball to be played the right way. For a while, I blame Steph Curry for running. It just everything became a 3-pointer, and it's like, what
Me
happened to just
too.
middies? Yeah, like what happened
And
to
I love a
middies? So you got
sweet midi. Woo.
yes, and so that's what I'm teaching my girls now. Like I promise you, you'll go to school if you just develop a consistent mid-range jumper. The three ain't everything, and so after a while, like that's the things that we have to get back to. You have to get back to
Mm.
teaching the game the right way. MJ had a midi, LeBron has a midi. Shoots. If we talk about girls, Cheryl Swoops and Cynthia Cooper has middies. They made it to the league just off of that. The 3-point, yeah, it was efficient later, but we have to get back to the basics because that's
Wow.
how the game starts.
Mm-hmm. And now, even now, I love Courtney Williams mid range. Oh, whew, her
Mm.
midi is so
Oh my God.
sweet.
Right. Agreed. And what's the
So
little freshman from Notre Dame right now? Or
Hannah, whoo,
yeah, or even Juju. Juju has middies.
oh, that, but
They
see
didn't give
me,
Juju the ball enough. That's the reason why that
that's the
didn't
reason.
flourish. But yeah,
But
for sure.
an experience, it all comes down to it. But when you learn, when you have the
Mm-hmm.
opportunity, when you have the opportunity to learn from something and not go back and do the same thing, because that's what we usually see a lot is,
Exactly.
all right, you didn't learn from the situation. So what are you going to do
Right.
different? You got to think of from this situation, you got to think of 7 other different scenarios that can happen just based off of this one situation. So, so I'm definitely can't wait till tomorrow night, but I'm definitely looking forward to
Ooh.
what's going to come of
Exactly.
next year with some of these girls.
And so honestly, I mean, speaking of tomorrow, because you touched on that, so you triggered a little spark in the conversation.
That's fine.
So we're gonna have the battle of Caitlin versus Paige, but is it gonna come down to the 3, or is it gonna come down to that midi? Like what is we know what Caitlin gonna do, but if we force her to take some middies, do Paige now got that one up? Because Paige is Paige is
All
a
around
bucket.
player, all around player. And we've had this conversation so much over the past few days, ever since UConn won.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you choose, Paige or Caitlin? And you can just tell the fans is what fans play basketball and what fans are new fans and
Right.
what fans you can
Right.
just tell, because I said I would choose Paige just because I want someone that is an all around player, a defender.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And not to take away what Caitlin does, because what she does is
No, absolutely
absolutely
not.
amazing. It
Yeah,
changed the game.
it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Thank you. It's like
Yeah.
what I would love to see it one day with my own eyes and not on TV screen. But when I've seen Paige play so many times live, and to see a person who demands the ball, who can shoot a
Yes.
midi, who can block a shot, who can give you in a crazy assist, defend without fouling.
Yes.
Because when it's the third quarter, you're like, oh, Paige picked up her first foul. I'm like, what?
Right. And not afraid. Paige ain't afraid to get in there and rebound. And she got a double. Like I'm getting there and I'm a rebound. And she guarded Juju.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pick up on Juju
That's
and go
not
down
easy.
no. How you defend the best player on the other team and still go down and give people buckets? Like,
It
no,
was special when
that's
they was
where
go.
that's definitely what LSU did wrong. So, but we
Yeah.
not gonna. Oh, yeah,
We won't talk
yeah.
about that disgrace of a game. Well, a disgrace of a second half, because the first half
Yes.
was giving us what we wanted from the game, and then the second half didn't give us what we wanted. But
Agreed.
Kim was too calm for me, so I already knew something was off. She was brave.
Yeah.
The outfit was calm. She wasn't screaming and yelling. And I'm like, I'm not used to you ever. Not even in a preseason game, you're yelling.
I don't even want to say, because now I'm thinking, like, did we just see Kim get exposed? Like, did they pick Kim and Kim did not know how to bounce back? They picked her brain. She wanted, like, did the assistant coaches sit back and say, listen, we don't know what to tell you, how to help you in this situation? Like, what happened on the coaching aspect? What happened?
That's
We
where
didn't
my
see
next
that.
question was coming, because you're a coach. So like as sitting on the side, sitting watching the game as a coach, I mean, I think the whole world knew you wouldn't pick Haley on Clark.
No, not Haley, not what's the girl name that starts with a P? The other
Poa,
girl, yeah, Poa was getting cooked, not her either.
and then you
I
made the
honestly would say that again.
Flage, but it was too late.
We waited to the fourth quarter to do that. Like, that doesn't even make it. That's a disrespect, like, move for Flage. Like, that was disrespectful for her.
So
And I don't understand. Even we didn't even box and one. Why is box and one taken out of the game? Because we got too much pride to go boxing. We didn't even try to say, you know what, Caitlin, you ain't even gonna touch the ball no more.
fundamentals. Back to the fundamentals of basketball.
My
And
ego is never going to take away the fact that I'm gonna let one person cook me 40 points in, I think she was 13 from 29 on the field goal. Like, no, we're not doing that.
at
We're not
all,
doing that.
we are not doing that.
Mm-mm.
So
So from a
speaking,
coaching aspect, what I would
yes,
have done differently is I would have boxed in with Caitlin, and she would have had to prove that she is good as she would have had to get 40. And I would have these little hands gestures that everyone was doing, like, I don't know what else to do. If she would have did that in the boxing one scenario, then
then
she
there's
deserved
not
that win.
right. There's nothing
There's
else you
nothing.
can do.
Nope.
Speaking of coaching and walking into a gym, you have your Houston Lady Nets established
Yes.
in 2006. First, where did the name come from? It's very catchy. It draws you in.
Yes.
And when I read it, Houston Lady Nets, I think of power, I think of strong women, and I think
Mm-hmm.
of basketball nets.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I
Mm-hmm.
think of when I think
Mm-hmm.
of Houston Lady Nets. So
Mm-hmm.
where does your name come from?
All right, so let's back up a little bit. So 2006, I actually started the boys side because remember I had a nephew who was playing.
Mm-hmm.
So I started a boys team. We was in the park getting it in because that's where I grew up playing.
Mm-hmm.
And then they started to appreciate the love for the hardwood after we
Mm.
moved there. So that was 2006. I graduated my first class in 2014. So after that, I was just helping kids get in school, guys at the time. So in about 2019, I walked in the gym. I saw a girl who was playing on a boys team and she can go. And I said, wait, why don't you play for a girls team? She said, there's not enough girls teams around. And I said, oh, we about to start one.
Mm.
So I grabbed that girl from that team, start going out, recruiting girls. And matter of fact, she's a senior now. She's going on committed to Blinn. So that's my first girl I recruited is now going off to college. So I'm real excited about that. So that's 2019 for the Houston Lady Nets. And now, as in 2024, we're predominantly all girls, 7 girls teams. Empowerment is correct. The Lady Nets name came from my high school coach told me, Dominique, you cannot shoot unless you make all net. That's when you know you're a shooter.
Mm.
So I was like, okay, so that's how I even teach my girls right now. You shoot from your fingertips, the flick of the wrist, the something about the sound of the nets when it comes to the game. That's the sweet music that you hear.
It
It's
feels
always
so
about the
good.
Nets. It is Nets. So I got excited when I even saw when they won this year and they used Nets worthy on their chest, and I was like, it's something about the Nets. So that's where the name came from. And girls are evolving. Girls are empowered. Girls can do anything, and that's what the Houston Lady Nets give you.
Yes. And I read when I was reading, it said with the intention to empower youth through sports, education, and life experiences that allow them to pursue their dreams in a creative and positive environment.
Yes.
How important is it to also prepare them for the real world while also preparing your girls for basketball in school, and just showing them that there's more
Mm-hmm.
than basketball out there that you
Mm-hmm.
have to be ready
Mm-hmm.
for.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So everything is not about the playing aspect of it, right?
Mm,
So everybody wants to go on and to play collegiate, but then what if collegiate doesn't work? So what is next? So we have to have a career path. So we talk
mm,
career. What are you going to do outside of playing? What are we studying? What are we trying to obtain to build a career off of? And if you're fortunate enough to continue on basketball and do those things, kudos to you. But for that one girl that just say, I love the game, I enjoy the game, but I really, really want to be a doctor, let's talk about how to obtain that doctorate degree. And so this is what, we go from your bachelor's, master's, and so on and so on. So I educate them on the next levels and always have something to fall back on just in case life happens the way it does
mm.
and basketball doesn't happen that way.
Yeah, and it's true because Arizona, I
Mm-hmm.
forgot her name. She stopped playing basketball in the mid-season to focus on her studies to be a physician.
Mm-hmm. Nothing wrong with that. She got there probably through basketball, which is a beautiful thing, and going to continue on her education to obtain that, that position. So I'm not mad about that at all.
That's wonderful. As a coach,
Yeah.
how do you reel them in and realize that and show them? Because some kids, straight and narrow, I know what I want, D1 school, collegiate basketball, professional basketball. And how, as a coach, do you reel them in without shattering that dream? Like, yes, you can do that. I'm not taking that away.
Right, for sure.
But
I think that's an educational thing. Some people just don't know, or aren't educated enough to by whomever, by mother, dad, because some people just don't know. So I think by me studying the game the way I do and knowing that I have to explain something later, like they're gonna have these same questions like Coach D, do I go JUCO first? What does that mean for me in order to me to go D1? What does it mean for this transfer portal right now? What does all this mean? So that's an educational thing that's important to me, and what all my coaches are doing as well. Like I have coaches that are high school varsity coaches that are learning some things that they're going to instill in them. I got coaches that have played a collegiate level and some semi-pro. So we have a strong foundation of educators that are able to help the girls get the right knowledge to succeed for sure. But I think that's an educational thing. I understand you want to go D1 because that's all you heard, but we can make something happen on this JUCO level and climb the ladder, because there's nothing wrong with getting it out the mud per se.
And I didn't know anything about JUCO until I started my podcast. I had no clue about what that was. You hear about Division I all the time. You hear about, of course, you know about your Division IIs in the area you live in, or the Division IIIs. You know about that, but you don't know the benefits of JUCO. You don't know that it can actually help you prepare you, because some schools is hard, and you have to maintain a grade to play. So not only does it help you academically, but it also, prepares you skill-wise as well.
Exactly.
So
it is the prereq. It is the prereq, and there's nothing wrong with having the prereq first before just being thrown to the wolves and say, go figure it out. This is the starting, and that is okay. I am an advocate for JUCO, if that's where you have to start. Again, if it's fortunate enough to go D1, go do your thing. But if we got to start from the bottom because we just want to climb that ladder, and that's okay.
Yes.
I had a kid, a guy who pretty much went JUCO. He went JUCO for Navarra, got transferred to a D1 later, and now is potentially getting drafted in the NFL. That's his story. That's a testimony. Like we gonna speak that, and we're okay with it. We okay with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it can be done, and I'm okay with that. So that's again, it's an educational thing. You gotta know that.
That it is. And I started to get more into it once Basketball U came out on Netflix. And have you seen it?
I haven't.
Basketball U on Netflix. It's in California. It's a JUCO league. I'm trying to bring up the name for you now, where he's hard coach, but he teaches them about life. He teaches them about basketball skills, but it's hard, but you want it or not. You say you want to go Division I, but are you gonna put the work in there to get there?
You have to have the work ethic. You have to, and you got to sustain it. Getting there is one thing. sustaining and keeping it
'Cause,
is a whole nother conversation. That's a whole
yes, it
nother,
is.
yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
it is. JT Smooth. I had interviewed him. I took a chance after I seen Basketball U, and I inboxed him, JT Lanston, and now he is in a D1 school at Rider's University from
Nice.
going to JUCO. It's something you want to show your girls. It's on Netflix. It's called Basketball U. And it's a series. There's 2 seasons. And it just talks about, and this coach, he is I don't even know him. I just know him from the show. But if you can
Okay.
commit that much time to kids, not about the money, because you don't make that much money in JUCO. It's not like a UConn
Right.
or South
Right.
Carolina,
Right.
Stanford,
Right.
Kentucky, Duke. And you just see that it's about making sure these kids have a future. It's
That's the reward. No
yes.
dollar amount could ever put that on. No dollar amount at
When
all.
they graduate, and they move on and they get that D1 offer, it's just like you did it. I didn't do it.
Exactly.
I didn't do it. You did
Exactly.
it. Like you had to put the work in. You had to showcase your skills. I just made sure I put the battery in your back and be the coach that's there for you. I believed in you so you can believe in yourself. But it's an amazing documentary.
I'm
And
definitely gonna check it out.
and it's a bunch of kids from the hood letting them know like you could do it. It's okay. You don't have to grow up in these fancy places to get to a D1 school or
Nope.
go this first. You can go JUCO route. So once I've learned about and then interviewing and just put myself out there with this podcast and just talking basketball with people, I've learned about JUCO and I've grown so much more respect for it because you have somebody there that believes in you, that wants to see, and you're not just a number. You're not just a number. You're not just a recruit.
Yep. You are the number. You are the recruit. You are the name. It is you. Like, no,
yes.
it's passion into that. Yeah, for sure. I'm all for it. All for it.
So I appreciate JUCO on a different way that I never had.
The grind is different.
Yes.
It just
And
it's
you
different.
learn to respect your journey a little bit more when you go that route. You have because you got to put more work in. You have to put way more work in when it comes to the JUCO league. So shout out to you for letting the kids know that it's okay because
it is definitely
so many kids just want to go D1 and sometimes
and they quit. They were like, "Oh, I didn't get nothing good enough," and no, we're not doing that.
Or we're not doing that. Or look at Haley now, leaving. Yeah. And it sucks because you're such an
you weren't. You had no really reason to leave Louisville. I get it. You might want to change it up, but then your game started going downhill when you went to LSU because you couldn't be you.
You got to do research on where you're going, the coach you're coaching, coach you're about to be coached by. You just have to do research in regards to the school, the coaching, everything. You can't just look at the shiny trophy that's hanging. You have to look at the coach, everything about the school. So speaking of coaching, if you had 24 hours to watch any coach get in their head, ask them questions, who would it be? And
dead or alive?
It doesn't matter. You can give me both. Give me both.
I'll give you both. I'll give you both. Both. So both. Going with the great Pat Summitt. Send me down with Pat Summitt at University of Tennessee. And
absolutely.
Oh my God. Yeah, her alone. But that's it. I don't even want to say anything. I just want to sit there and listen. I just want to embrace it. I just want to be in the same room with you. That's it. I got something I can come to the table with. I promise you I can, but feed me. Yeah, feed me, Pat. So that's dead. Alive. You gotta go with Gino. Gino is doing stuff that, oh man. Gino is in the Final Four with 7 girls.
This is where I grew more respect for him because I do the post.
I forgot Dawn. Oh my God, I can't even.
No, but it's so hard. Okay. But when you do it with 7, it's very hard. It's so hard. And then Ice Brady, this is where I grew a love for Gino because as I covered the Big East tournament and Aaliyah Edwards went down, and she
Mm-hmm.
had to step up right in that moment. And, a lot of times you don't get your question answered in media. And I'm not one of those media that are going to flip it, do that. And I barely ask basketball questions. I ask questions because I'm more of the emotion behind it, the work
Yeah.
ethic you put into it, the love it
Yeah.
gives you, because I know it took me from my dark place.
Mm-hmm.
So when he talked about seeing if someone has that in them in the moment, I had to see her grow in that moment. He said, because I see her in practice, but can she really do it? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
He said, and when I put her in, she did it. It was seeing her grow up in that moment. Now, is she going to be ready for the next level? Now, this is just a test. Now, I got to keep working her. So I grew so much more respect for Gino because I've never really seen him from my own eyes. I see it on TV, but my own judgment.
Right.
I've never
Right.
seen him talk about a player the way he talked like that and where I witnessed it. I can see it on
Right.
TV all the time, but I want to be there. I want to feel what he's saying. You know
Right.
what I mean? I want to
So
feel what he's saying.
the one thing I definitely love about Gino the most is that he really does empower girls to feel like they are the best. You are
That's
the
what I
best.
felt that
Period.
day.
Yes, like every time he speaks, like when he talked about Diane and just going back to just they are the best. When we Maya Moore, you are the best.
Woo!
Like just
Gold.
like
She's the
oh
gold.
my goodness. Oh, hands down. Hands down. Hands down.
But
People forget what she's done for the game. Like
she
you
still could
can't
be doing it if she didn't retire. But, I wish she would have gave us
she
one more year.
she went on to, save she has some other mission, and that's cool.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely cool. But I've never
Yeah.
felt that. I've seen it all the time, but when you see coaches, like when you hear Dawn speak on TV, you feel it regardless.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I never felt that from Gino. But when he was talking about Ice Brady that day, that's when I was like, okay, I see it. I
Yeah.
feel it. I
Yeah.
understand why
Yeah.
everybody wants to go to the powerhouse of UConn. It's not just the champions. It's Gino is behind that as well. So I
Yes,
had to
absolutely.
feel it for myself. So I definitely grew a love and respect for Gino. If you had a chance to bring someone to the gym for the girls, who would it be and why?
Player or coach?
Player.
Player. Currently playing. Well, it's tough because my girls have already met some of the goats. Cynthia Cooper is in my back pocket when it comes to just
Mm.
education and being able to be around what it feels like to win. Like I've won, I've done it.
She
And
has.
she came in the league at 34 and killed it. Like this is the story that people need to hear about.
That
They've met
anything
Cheryl
is
Swoops.
possible. Whew. Yeah, they met some real
Yeah.
goals.
Yeah, so it's kind of like but currently for probably what they see, give me, some Asia Wilson or
Mm.
some Chelsea Gray, some people that just
The point
like
God.
Chelsea is ridiculous. Chelsea is ridiculous. But just anybody that looks like them and they just say you can go do it and it can be done and it will be done. You got to work for it. That
Mm.
like long as we understand that language, anybody, anybody. So
I love that. I love that.
yeah.
Well, thank you. We're gonna speak that into existence. Asia,
Mm-hmm.
go and talk to the girls.
Yes.
Bring them a book
Yes.
so they can chop it up with
Exactly.
you and just,
Exactly.
what
Be
it
around
is to
greatness. That's all we want to
exactly.
do. We just be around greatness.
So what are the goals for the next 5 year for the Houston Lady Nets?
Oh, next 5 years. Where we're growing at a rapid pace right now. Like I said, I have 7 girls teams. I got a young girl who's in the 4th grade. She just turned 10. Her name is Zoe. Zoe father coaches on my 6th grade team. And so they are basically like she the next. She up and coming. So if you
Mm,
look up No Equal Jeff and look at his daughter Zoe as a 4th grader, what she's doing to 6th and 7th graders, her journey is going to be special. So
nice.
that's the platform that I want to continue to make when it
Mm,
comes to this girls thing. Because for the long, I remember Grindhouse Basketball. He made a shirt that says "Girls basketball always been dope. You're just late."
mm-hmm.
And I'm finally, I'm glad that what was that, Monday, when LSU and Iowa was the number one rating over a whole bunch of other sports. Finally, people are starting to catch on and say, hey, yeah, this is where it's at right now. So I'm glad I've been in it and I've been knowing it,
Right.
but we're peaking at the right point, and I think we're going to continue to give the girls just a platform to come out and just continue to showcase themselves. So
That's right.
for the next 5 years, that motive is not going to change. I just hope it continues to get larger and more girls are getting the opportunity to, I'm going to be the next of something, or some of these records that, Caitlin records that she just shattered and this, that, and the other. I hope it comes, it lasts for a little bit, but somebody else is going to
it's going to be
that out.
broken.
And that's good. Yeah. Like let's go for
Let's
that.
keep that momentum going.
Exactly. So that's that's what I want for the next 5 years. Continue to get girls in school, continue to obtain whatever dreams and aspirations you want. We can go get it.
We can go get it.
We can.
I
If
love
you want
that.
it, you want to work for it, we can go get it.
I love that. We can go get it. You
We
hear that,
can.
everyone? Anything you want, we can go get it. So
We really can.
someone wanted
Like
to
you said,
donate.
I mean, even when it no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, someone wanted to donate to you, or look up or how to get in touch with you guys. What is your, I guess,
Okay.
handles
So
or a website?
yeah. So you can look up the Houston Lady Nets on Instagram at Houston Lady Nets. Our Twitter is at Houston Lady Nets. Same thing, that's our Cash App as well. On our website, that's actually HoustonNets.com. You can look it up. You'll see myself. You'll see my VP Eric. That information is also on there as ways to donate. There was ways to read about us. We drop our schedule on where all our teams are going. I'm actually leaving for San Antonio to play in a sheep balling event tomorrow. Yes, so that's a staple. Yeah, that's a staple for sure. I coach the 17U Gold team. We're on the Adidas Gauntlet. I got some girls that can go. Some of my girls already have offers on the team. Most of my seniors are about to commit. I got a young sophomore that was the offensive MVP of the Aldine district. So she can go out and get it. I got a real good group of girls, and they believe in the vision, and they are basically like saying, let's go get it. Like we don't need all this. We don't need all this extra stuff. Nothing against, Nike EYBLs or Under Armours, or even if you're on a 3SSB team, nothing against any of that. Like super kudos to them for continuing to make a higher platform for them. But us little teams, we still can make it happen. We still can go get it.
That's right.
And yeah, so that part would never change about me. Golly, I can go on and on about just truly getting it out the mud. I started small, 7 teams, and probably could have made 10 if I wanted, but these are 7 competitive dogs. Like they just, they got it in them. Yeah. So definitely, if you get a moment, listen, I'll drop you. Yeah, I'll drop you the schedule.
Yes, please, because you want to know what's crazy. In December, I was like, I want to move. I'm going to Texas. That is the thing, and then I had to have surgery. But yes, that is ultimately still the goal. So
okay,
you never know. You
so in June, if you like, I'm hosting an event with Cynthia Cooper and Steve Francis called the Legends Tournament. We do an annual Legends event every year. Last year it was Cheryl Toops and Cynthia Cooper. So this year is now Cynthia Cooper and Steve Francis, because we're opening it up to the guys. So in June,
I want to go. Send me the information. Okay. Yes,
I will.
Send me the information. I would love to.
We can set you up. You can talk to some of the athletes, talk to some of the pros that come through there. For sure.
Yes. I would love that. I would love that, and just continues to put, go out and get it. That's like you say.
Got to.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I thank you so much, Dominique, for coming on Sports Talk with C and sharing your journey, as well as the Houston Lady Knights. Houston Lady Nets. I really do appreciate your time, your energy, your vibe. It was dope. Great conversation. And it's always great talking basketball. So thank you again.
For sure. Thank you so much.
And we are